just because RRQ did win, we're going to be breaking down some of RRQ's positioning and the way they played out this map. And I just want to give that shout out to Monyet real quick before we forget about it, because it's you can't forget this, right? He did his job as at Raze. I mean, even in first kills, right? He's got 6 first kills, the most on that team, 25 and 20 KD as well. I mean, some people saying, was there a Raze diff on either side? I would say no, both of them doing the job they needed to, but RRQ, just the way they were playing as a team, coming together just a bit better than Global Esports. And I'll be honest, I mean, SK Rossi not able to hit his shots today, right? Was getting picked off a lot. He actually goes down like 1 and 7 to flips in a 1v1 scenario, right? So if you're getting picked off by that second line of defense or attack that many times, it's going to be a rough time.
That's right. Now, you mentioned timeouts, and I think, today's a good day to talk about timeouts and how it's really used as part of an overall strategy.
Yeah, let's talk about RRQ had both of them. I want to talk about the first one. So first of all, we're going to look at round 4. Now, the focus is actually more on Global Esports, but take a look at what happens. Global Esports, they're pushing through a dish and through drop. They even use the orbital strike. We can even see the laser coming down from the sky there. And that happens on round 4. And then they're eventually able to get through, and they'll be able to get the spike plant. Then we go to round 5. And once again, the spike goes up to the north side of the map. And meanwhile, we see RRQ trying to combat this by having their own fault line and an own 3v3 setup, but it's not enough. I mean, Flips hits some crazy shots, but at the end of the day, that means a main was open, so the site is opened up. Then we see a timeout coming in from RRQ. Obviously, both coaches trying to talk about what they did, and RRQ makes a great adjustment. They now put their Killjoy setup on Dish, but Global says, we read right through your timeout. Nobody goes to Dish. It's a 5-man push through main, and this change in setup, trying to rely on Killjoy's utility to react to it, is now nullified. And Global, sure, EJ trying to hold the line with a showstopper, but it's not going to be enough. They still eventually break through the site again, and this was just part of that kind of 4-round streak that Global was able to make happen here in the first half.
Yeah. It was, I mean, a really cool observation. You noted something similar happening yesterday as well. Now, Quack, we saw some really spectacular kills by our RRQ. EJ in particular really bouncing off, maybe literally bouncing off of the Sky util.
I mean, I think in a lot of these rounds, it's really smart plays from both sides, but also you need the players to really execute these to perfection. And in a lot of this was EJ landing his shots. I mean, supported by Emin and LB Moore as well, they were able to combo with the utility, actually blinding Monyet in the first one, and then allowing for EJ to go in for that final ace at the very moment, putting EJ in a lot of frags, but also xFaro clutching out in a lot of these rounds, I think, really allowed for RQ to find that momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, we can just jump right into that as well, because we saw it in the highlight package near the end. But, we come down to round 22. The lockdown was used by RRQ. Obviously, Global very well prepared for it. And we actually finally start to see SK Rossi get warmed up in this round, right? It took a little while. And as you see Global Esports go for their own retake with their own lockdown, they basically put a lockdown in a position where they know where they need to strike. They can expect one to be in that little corner in tower, and then the rest have to be towards main. EJ's still holding strong, but look at Rossi. He's able to dash by the first opponent, make sure he can win that duel, and it looks like it's going Global's way, but first the molly, and then xFaro, just understanding exactly where everyone's left. He goes for the spam through the smoke and immediately repositions because he knows time is in his favor. And this round, I mean, if Global won this one, momentum could have very well swung back where maybe it goes to overtime, or Global might be able to close it out with Rossi now getting warmed up, but xFaro shuts it down just in time.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very critical round, that RRQ ended up taking away with the clutch moment between the two brims. I always like watching the two brimmies.
The brimmies with the simmies going
against
each other.
I mean, there were so many rounds, like the orbital strike they exchange with each other as well. Like,
both of them were very, I think, proactive with their aim and their utility as well in this match.
Now, we got to talk about our key player. We actually, we took a little while to decide because RRQ was just looking strong, but we decided to go with Flips. Tell us why.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is his numbers don't seem that high, right? On the scoreboard, he was actually on the bottom end. However, he has 19 assists, the most on this team. On top of that, he's the IGL, and he's playing Breach. I would say that he's fulfilled his role perfectly. I mean, a lot of these that we saw, it's off of his flashes, his fault lines, and of course the reads that he has in those mid-round calls that Quack and I mentioned before the match.
Yeah, it's a lot of these plays, and like we talked about it, right? The mental battle between the two teams, and I think Flips just came out a little bit more prepared on this map, and that's why they picked it. But it doesn't end here, and this is something that I want to keep thinking about as well, because they're moving on to Pearl next. And Flips, although this was a great assist, this was great mid-rounding and a lot of calling from the IGL of RRQ, it's not all over. You know, I think Arian still had a pretty good performance as well.
Yeah. It is going to be really interesting going into Pearl. This is Global Esports pick, as you mentioned, and, you know, they've had a pretty strong showing on Pearl before. Are we going to go to map 3, you think? How are you feeling? You were originally predicting Global Esports, so how are you feeling now?
Well, so I will say this. I don't think it's all entirely on SK Rossi, but it did take him a while to get warmed up. I think also RRQ having good reads on, you know, how does Rossi like to play with his operator, right? He doesn't overheat as much, but he still does take a very aggressive position. I mean, we saw some of the plays that Flips was doing, the way he sets up his fault line in a way where SK Rossi simply cannot dash out. He's still going to be stunned and trapped up. So with that in mind, if Rossi's now warmed back up and the Pearl that Global Esports has, I still think this could very well go to a map 3.
Yeah, very possible. What do you think?
I have to agree, because again, just seeing from what we saw last week, Global, they did really well against Gen.G on this map. I think Aaron on the KO, like rather than the Killjoy, was a great improvement, very interesting, and he had a lot of supports and setups for his team. A little bit, maybe like different habits at times, but still, he had the right calls, and gaining that information as the initiator was something that was really useful. But when it comes down to it, I think the RRQ map against DRX on Pearl did not look great. Maybe they were a little bit exhausted towards the end.
Yeah.
That's something to look out for.
That's the thing. It was a map 3, right?
You're right.
I remember we talked about it on broadcast that day as well, in that most teams don't have the same practice that DRX has in terms of going through these long series.
Yeah.
So I'll be very honest. I think even Global Esports is probably thinking, we cannot trust the data that we have on RRQ's Pearl, right? They had one win against DFM, and then now that loss against DRX. They're kind of on these extreme ends. So Global probably not going to rely too much on what they've seen before, but I like what Quack brought up, that position change, right? Texture now on the Killjoy, able to lurk with his own, just trusting in his aim to really get through that middle portion of the map, and then Aaron providing a little bit more confident support with that KO, proactive support, I think changes the entire game plan for Global.
I mean, on Pearl, I think you guys are absolutely right that Global is very strong on Pearl every single time. Even when they lost the one time, they still looked really good on Pearl. But that said, I know Ewok loves to do homework, and I'm sure he studied the crud out of Global Esports plays on Pearl. So I think RRQ still stands a good chance of taking this to a 2-0. I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah, I mean, the way RQ is looking today, I will say it's one of those, you know, it sounds simple, but RQ looks a lot better than I would have expected them to, and right from the get-go. Then Global Esports seems to be the one that's having a bit of a slower start than I would have expected them. So that also comes into play just in terms of, okay, you've now gone through this fracture, you've understood how RRQ has prepared against you. You know, if you're Global, you know, do you just say, it's all right, Pearl, we're always good at it, do we keep that faith? Or do you try to start to adapt to that even from the beginning of map 2? And we do have that switch out, right? 2G coming back in.
Yeah, and you kind of have to look out for it. I mean, this is something that we want to keep in mind as well. 2G often does play Pearl, and I don't know if they're going to switch up their agent composition to sort of adapt to whatever homework Ewok has prepared against Global. But at the same time, it's two very different teams. Global has a different style and different approach when it comes to Pearl as compared to DRX, who was incredibly aggressive last week on their attacking side, and that was something that really crumpled RRQ's defense. So coming into this one, 2GE, everyone else, they have to have that mental resilience, I think. You can't just rely on the duels and then kind of falter after that. So going into the agent picks now, we're going to have that double controller setup.
All right,
Any surprises here?
Not to the greatest extent, right? Bazzi has been liking that fade here on Pearl, so that's not too shocking. Monyet going with the Astra again. If you're going to have the solo smokes, I think it's got to be the Astra here. I mean, maybe in the past it was Viper. Meanwhile, I mean, going for the Astra Harbor, that's what they've done. A lot of other teams obviously like the Viper Harbor, but RRQ has had this idea of Xfero being a bit more proactive in that semi-initiator support that Astra can provide.
The same, yeah. I'm just curious about how RQ will actually play with this composition, because last week, again, they kept trying to meet DRX with firepower. It didn't really work, so they're going to have to try a different approach to this one against Global.
All right, we're ready to go into map 2 Pearl, RQ and Global Esports, and we got our casters Tasteless and the Valdez, who is the Quack OOTD doppelganger. You guys match on purpose today?
Maybe.
Excellent work at the desk. I'm
Yes.
here with the Wild Valdez. How you doing, man?
We matched on purpose today. That actually happened. No,
They wrote it down on their calendars. They
I
went,
didn't say
"Oh,
anything to go.
it's Sunday. You know what that means.
Um,
Look, we've had an amazing map 1 here, and I think this map 2, this should be one that Global can take. They mentioned at the desk that, like, RQ, they have been doing their homework. They've clearly come in here with the very best iteration of themselves that we've seen yet.
yeah.
Maybe RQ takes it, but I think any bet man is saying, we're going to map 3.
Well, certainly hope so. Could get onto that bind for map number 3 as RQ will face off against Global Esports on Pearl. And let's see how the pistol round goes this time. You know, RQ was able to take both on the first map. Definitely part of the reason why they were able to, you know, eke out a couple extra rounds in that matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, RQ really just improving massively in the last few weeks here, and proving to be a very viable team. Both these teams don't have the best scores, so there really is a lot on the line to try to win. And so that oh-so-important pistol round is going to start off. This time on map 2, it's going to be RRQ on the attacking end and Global Esports defending the A and B site.
Yeah. Seems like both of the teams choosing to pick attacker side when it's their opponent's map pick. Just to start off, of course. As through art, here comes EJ. On the jet this time.
Raymond yet doesn't see EJ yet. The spike is going to be planted, just an earshot. No kills yet.
Yeah.
No damage even.
Planted that right outside of the harbor bubble. And it's pretty obnoxious. Kind of like did it in the face of Monyet.
All right.
Spam comes through.
Global going to try to push. RQ in a very good position here. We actually have a team lurk coming from Flip. Start to defuse, but it's a fake.
There's this lurk you were talking about, the rotation as he's going to be taken out. This is actually pretty close. Comes down to Texture as he picks up one.
But of all people to go against, the pistol god himself, Elmi Moore. He calls the bluff. Oh! Wait. Is it enough time?
I believe so. Just barely, right? Yep, he's got it. 0.5 seconds.
Oh,
Not
my
even close.
God.
Not even close.
Damn. Clutch play there from Global Esports.
Well, fans are going to be really happy about that one. 4K in the pistol round for Texture.
Yeah, quick recap here again. All kills came after the spike was planted. He had that great lurk here, and it looked like in this position, you know, it was going to be doable here for RRQ, but Elmi Moore second-guessed himself. He didn't do the swing initially. Had he actually just stayed back, he win.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's that, and also, I forget who it was, but the second last person who died swung out alone first just to try to buy time on the defuse and give Elmi Moore that chance that you were talking about, Tasteless. So,
Right.
Now Global Esports. Rossi's got another sniper. This time it's the Marshall, of course, and
He's missing these shots with the sniper rifle.
unfortunately, just not his day. Hoping that he shows up again here on Pearl.
Yeah, they're going to need it. If he can't get those sniper shots, it's bad news here for Global Esports. I mean, they've really, many of their wins have been off the back of great sniper play from Rossi. So RRQ is going to quietly build up some tension over here at A. The stack on A is pretty good. The Bird's going to force Rossi to reposition. The Harbor Wall's not going to make that Marshall very handy.
Oh, Elmi Moore! Come on! This is just not fair!
The Carrying Kazers just said, shoot me more. So we've got the spike planted. Rossi whips again. 2GE with the kill.
Yeah, Rossi just trying desperately to stop the plan. Doesn't work out as they might just get ecoed here. Might get thriftied as Elmi Moore a third headshot. Make it 4. This guy is just insane. Don't give this guy
No
a
rifles.
vandal. No rifles. Not anymore.
Just
not allowed.
imagine if you could buy 2 sheriffs and duel with that.
Should be able to. Seems like a fun time.
God, that was insane.
Well, I know who I'm voting for if RQ end up winning this. For my MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
He got that one through the box.
crazy moment. And by the way, a big swing over here. A very patient RRQ took away the normal tempo of a round 1 win away from Global Esports. It's going to be Global right now, tightening their belt in a classic round.
It's not really a good sign for Global. RRQ was able to take both of the anti-ecos on Fracture. I mean, it is just the one round, but it's definitely going to set Global Esports kind of off on the wrong foot here.
I got the spike.
Okay, so we've got the spike. It's going to quietly courier it up into B. It looks like they're trying to make a distraction up here at A, but A is actually very quiet. They're basically relying on the turret and texture not too far away to use that. And so they actually ping the 2 players, or at least, I'm sorry, just one actually up here at B and decide that's enough to make them uncomfortable. Let's not forget that in the previous map, we had Global Esports do a 5-stack when they were in a classic round.
Yeah.
Basically do the coin flip, say, all right, let's try to bet on a site, and then as they try to spill in, we just overpower them.
Yeah.
Not the case this time around.
And if you're going to bet on a site, it's going to be B on this map.
Yeah.
So they're all over there. RRQ, free plant for them. They've been attacking this A site unrelentingly. They have come here 3 times in a row.
All right, so Global Esports going to try to come in here with the retake.
Oh, he's just going to,
Yeah.
no, just going to deny that defuse as, meanwhile, Texture just hiding an arc. Classic stuff as the Reckoning comes in. Global Esports are holding it, but they nearly got the defuse.
So close. And that's going to be it. In a flurry of bullets, that closes it out with the second win here for RRQ. But a much more realistically winnable round here as we go into round 4 for Global Esports. That was wild. It looked like they almost had it.
I didn't think he was going to hold past the halfway point. You know, generally try to go half, you know, maybe try to defend from there. But I guess because they had a huge lack of firepower, they're like, well, we have a bunch of smokes. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we can hold it. And they did get punished in the end, although they did get close.
All right. We now get ready for this 4th round here. And we want to see, you know, Global Esports, they were very strong in the middle of the first half. Can they pull through again here against an RRQ that's looking better and better at every passing round? Bozzy here. Oh, okay. Moore gets the kill again there, but that should already just be the round win.
Yeah.
Just a nice lurk right outside the smoke.
Even Aaron there. Xpharaoh does not have to do this, although it is 1v4.
Yeah,
maybe just hoping to pick someone off.
Yeah, trying to just get a kill through the smoke here. Oh my god, he's so close here. Well, doesn't matter. No matter how you cut it, you're going to lose that.
Yeah.
Global Esports ties it up 2-2. Not so much a strategic win, just a positional one.
Yeah.
They did not clear the side of that bubble.
It was a nice read. I mean, RQ are going to push B eventually, right? So they drop down 3 Astra Stars, and they stack 3 members right there. And it's very aggressive. It gets in the face of RQ. RQ kind of have a sense of what's going on, but they're still not able to hit the Bozzy in the corner, right? So the second Bozzy lives for more than a second, and he just sprays everybody down. The round is like kind of done from there. So Global Esports, nice setup. They're able to grab back around.
It's so. It was just a beautiful play. I mean, especially when you see that last bubble is kind of far out, it's very hard to clear all the sides, right?
Yeah.
And so, beautiful play there. We're now going to go into a very spread round here for RRQ. We're going to see if they can get a pick, try to win a duel. But Global Esports is turtled up pretty heavily here. They're not really showing themselves. And you're going to have to basically get on to A, I think, before we can see any action. And obviously with the Killjoy utility laid out here, there's going to be a lot of tripwires that can be set off here that's going to allow Global Esports to galvanize and try to retake. So it's going to be Flip moving up here, just towards the side of A. They're going to use the lockdown, it looks like this time around.
Astra kind of getting in the way as counter lockdown comes in.
All right, we've got the lockdown Venn diagram.
What do you think is in the middle of that?
They both share an interest in A. That's where their opinions overlap.
Yeah. And somehow people keep getting hit by this.
Yeah. But Rossi's just going to hide there.
Oh.
Hey, Flip gets in.
Spike planted.
Spike down. Fozzie. Gun not out fast enough.
He did EJ dashing right into them as they're trying to retake this site here. 2 members.
Flip with the lurk. Sees the gun barrel. Can't get the second. Oh!
Texture. He doesn't want to go quietly into the night.
Turret's going to spot. Realm me more.
Player standing.
Oh!
Beautifully done. That's going to be the 3rd round win here.
Yeah.
Very close one. An explosive round there with the double lockdowns. Ultimately, RRQ was just too good with their lurks, too well positioned. Global Esports calls for a timeout.
Yeah, it's pretty early on. I mean, considering that Global Esports won the last round, I suppose good old Coach Neem is not too not too happy with the way that that round went, so wants to discuss and recalibrate the team. As, I mean, EJ was able to get all the way behind, catch the rotation that was coming in. He eventually did go down, but it really took a lot of wind out of the sails of Global Esports on the attempt at a retake, and that is now so many times. I mean, 4 times out of the 5 rounds that RRQ has gone for A.
So, you know, a stressful moment here for Global Esports. Let's not forget this is their map. And they are very hungry to try to come back here and get us to map 3. Getting a lot of support here in the audience from RRQ.
Yeah.
And, you know, there really is something to be inspired about this team. You know, we didn't have, at least in tactical shooters, as much of a history, you know, in Indonesia. And there's been some of a history of tactical shooters in the Philippines, but we didn't know what to expect with this team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to fare against a team like Global Esports, which is, you know, taken from Korea? They got players from all over the world. Right now, both teams proving to be very strong, but RRQ just seems, at least for now, be a couple percentage points better.
Yeah, absolutely. They're certainly proving that so far in this best of 3. We'll have to see if they can keep it up here. Again, this is on Global Esports' map pick. But so far here in Pacific as well, it's been like a 55% attackers win rate. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, well, I'm going to hold that thought as Monyet gets aggressive through the doors, picks one off. Fonzie there as well.
Got Rossi with the operator. He could end up getting a pick over here at long.
I've got your
Well,
trail.
Oh my God. Rossi gunned down. That's insane. Oh my God.
Oh, well, Monyet's going to shore it up as some cabbage is floating through the air. And meanwhile, Monyet is going big. 3K for him. Flipside are able to get onto the site, though.
Yeah, it looks like they should be able to get the spike plant. And they're going to put this up here
Spike
and
planted.
basically go deep. Litter that with Killjoy utility. And then it's not gonna be an easy retake here for Global.
Oh, yeah.
See what they can do.
They got to get out in B main. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to have a great chance. Like, you got to get on top of that Killjoy.
Turret destroyed.
As they're trying to cover here, I mean, maybe if they get a couple of pickoffs.
Just down to Flip. And they're gonna try to push him.
Enemy
It's
remaining.
a 1. Oh!
Nice play by Aaron.
Yeah, beautifully done. He will be able to get that defuse off. That's gonna make it 3-3, but a nail biter of around 6.
Yeah. Global Esports also identifying it. They had to aggress into B main out in that corridor and essentially take him out. As it started out with Monyet getting very aggressive here, but then the Astra play on B is very good. Monyet essentially saving this round for Global Esports, even gets that
Player
pick.
standing.
And as he gets taken out, Aaron, the Ideal is able to at least get the round for the team.
Beautiful play there. Rossi with the operator. I've said it a couple times. I have to point it out. He has not made these sniper shots connect. He's having a day where his aim is just not quite there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, has he even hit 1?
I feel like he hasn't. Maybe he's hit 1, but I mean, you want to be getting many of these, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at how close this is too with these 2 teams, I mean, if he's not able to make those connections, that may be the loose end that they need to tie up if they're going to win this.
Let's see, he's got another operator, so perhaps.
Yeah, but this time he's going to have to come over here and try to help in the retake of A.
Where are
Man, this map is all texture and Monyet right now for Global Esports, though. They are just 3K, 4K, 2K, like over and over again. As Elmore is going to put an end to texture, though.
Yeah, it's down to just 2 GE.
He got one.
Yep, there we go. Rossi getting that sniper shot. Nicely done.
Yeah, he
Global
heard us.
Esports now in the lead here, 4-3.
Yeah, that's a couple of great rounds in a row now for Global Esports as obviously, you know, the timeout helping out with that one. Ewok was not scared to call both timeouts in the last map. It ended up helping them a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised, especially if Global Esports win this next one. Almost definitely we get a timeout. As we'll take another look here at the way this one went down, as Texter's just hanging around near Arts, and it ends up being a team ace. Everybody gets one kill, and they're able to win the round on A.
Get out of my way.
All right, we've got to push in over here. It's going to be EJ. Blades drawn. They're going to have to get a couple picks if they're going to make this work. It's a pretty scuffed round here for RRQ.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's see.
Oh, well, looks like the greenery is going to block that.
Yeah. Ooh. So,
Nicely done.
yeah, EJ buying enough time and enough knives to eventually get that, and he's going to get a big heal as well. Monyet in a great spot, though.
Anya keeps getting these picks. He's so strong. EJ's now gone. It's going to be hard to shove in any position.
Rossi. Reckoning comes in, gonna push that jet off the site, hopefully, in the favor of RRQ. Let's see what they can do here on B.
Ozzy here with a lurk. Looks
He
like
made
he ran
sounds.
for a second. Yeah, they heard him. Oh, flip. Such a good shot there. Just Rossi and Texture left.
Yeah, he was just trying to get onto the site and maybe buy time and deny a plant, but he gets totally owned there. As defender Killjoy, you know, it helps a bit to get them on the site, but at the end of the day, this is B.
All right, Rossi's got to go for it. Knives out. Oh,
Oh, boy. Oh, he got
gets
one.
He's going to try to come in here with another one. This is such a tough push. Oh, the game of hide and seek.
Oh, the right click miss, and he can't get it. No!
That was an insane moment.
Oh, man. And they committed to the lockdown as well to try to get onto that site, and Flipshider is able to, of course, get that one pick onto the guy that was not Rossi. EJ starts off here as the push on through pretty aggressively, and they make their way on the B.
Yeah, that was a beautiful run. You got to love him utilizing that pillar, right? And just saying, okay, where do I hear the footsteps? I'm going to the other side. They just got to run the clock.
Yeah, it is so annoying to retake that site. It's just, it's a real pain for many teams here, as now RQ going to get more aggressive on the ramp.
It's like Haven, but even worse, trying to retake that from long.
Turret down.
Elmi Moore peeking here. Monyet, who's been getting so many picks, shot after shot, is going to get another one.
Concealment.
Yeah, Monyet's essentially saying, like,
I've
come
got
on,
your
team,
trail.
let's go. You know, everybody gets on my level, we win this map.
Some shots sprayed through here, but EJ can't quite track him. X-Pharaoh with a double.
Oh.
Cabbage gets him.
Yeah, you got to run from the cabbage.
Great shot there from Texture. All right, so it's going to be another plant. They do have a nice little lurk here with Flip.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, you know, they lost that because they couldn't control long. But having, oh, hold on, never mind. Flip's already out of the picture.
Able to spot him with the knife, as now, once again, the defuse coming in, and I don't think he even got it to half. Yeah, that's a big problem for Global, but Texture is poking out.
Hold on, he's just going to hold it. Oh, he gets it at the last second. It's going to be just Texture left over.
This is the issue.
Oh! Incredible play there from RQ. They just own that B site. They know how to set it up.
Yeah.
They know how to spread it out. They can use the little ramp to peek while having somebody at the pillar to rotate from side to side.
It's just so difficult. And Global Esports, I mean, they had a better shot, actually, this time around, but X-Pharaoh kind of put an end to that, and then, again, like that angle, it's just so, you can't take out 2GE as long as he's playing it well, and the timing on his peaks is good, and they were pristine.
And in that specific position, there's so many ways you can come out. You can come up to any point on the ramp. You can come from the left. You can come from the right. So it's very difficult. And so a timeout's called here. Global Esports pumping the brakes.
Second timeout already.
Yeah.
First half.
Yeah, they got to be careful because there is an art to economizing the timeouts, right?
Yeah.
And knowing when to use them.
It's like the mini game, you know.
Yeah, and when to pocket it for another moment here. Well, for now, RRQ, they're pulling ahead here with excellent plays onto B. And, you know, Global Esports, they know the problem. I don't know if they have the solution, though, yet. And so it sounds like they're going to kind of think out some possible solutions now before RRQ could try to run away with the show.
Came all the way from Busan to watch Texture, Global Esports. And you can see that Eraser was visibly agitated after the way those last couple of rounds went. So I think he's like, screw the timeout economy. I want to talk to them now. And he calls it. He gives them a piece of their minds. I mean, it's hard, though. I mean, even getting 4 rounds on the defensive side on this map is a pretty good start. You obviously don't want to go 8-4, but let's see if Global Esports can shore it up now. Is the defensive side perhaps seen as more important by the coach? Would love to get a piece of his mind.
All right, Spike is actually waiting here. They're just looking for picks for the time being. A very, very defensive Global Esports right now. We've got Rossi here with the Marshall over at B, but B is not. Oh, hold on. B may actually be where they're going to go. We did see Rossi get some picks with the sniper rifles earlier. See if he can do it now. He is that first line of defense.
Yeah, just hit the head. Easy enough.
And they're going to pop flash right out here.
Oh, he is so aggressive with this. It is not going to work out. Just gets cleared out. Smokes used against him on the Marshall.
Spike planted.
Yep, and it's going to be the same story at B. This is a heavy stack. It's going to be very tough for Global. EJ just continues to get these kills.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
man, he is just having a day out. Okay, Texture gets the 1.
EJ on the hunt. The Texture too
Okay.
good. Be careful, RQ. Don't overextend here.
Just pick up that gun. Nope, just going to get flanked a little. There you go, RQ, another round in a row. But let's see what Global Esports have plans now with some rifles.
It's been these plays on B over and over again.
Rossi with the naked operator. No armor. He has 1 dash.
And if you watch the way that they're using the agents, they're able to just get into B without the operator really being a threat. I mean, yeah, you could do a blind shot in there, but you know, you can't really rely on that. And so B kind of being loose here. It seems like what they want to do is have Rossi be in a much more forwarded spot to try to get maybe the first pick, but look at the way they move in. Okay, so they're going to go around at Harbor Wall, and they basically make Rossi burn through his first shot on utility, and now he's back to square one.
Yeah. Here they come. They have the reckoning, and now Rossi's got to get out of there. He does have a chance to get up on top, perhaps, and stop this. But if this plant goes down, RQ are in an amazing spot.
Oh, nice shot there. EJ already taken out.
Spike
But they
planted.
get that plan again, and it's all about just trying to escape. Rossi looks for a shot. Can't find it yet.
As he gets in there, Rossi not going to hit that one either as 2G takes him out. And they even have a lockdown here. There's a Cosmic Divide, a Reckoning, a lockdown. Like, what are they not using?
Yeah, this is an expensive round on all sides. So they haven't started the defuse yet. They're going to try to get it going, but they fake it.
Yeah, you got the Astra coming through. They got to run through the wall, and that will be enough.
I love that. They just all hop through at once. They don't know where the player hiding is, but they know where the one defusing is. They just got to shoot that down.
Yeah.
Round to use our creds and abilities.
And that's why
Don't waste
this
your firepower.
composition can be so strong on the attacker side. You get the Harbor Bubble down. You have so many ultimates that help you get a free plant on the B. And I know I'm kind of harping on the points, but this is the way that RRQ have won like 3-4 rounds in a row. So
Up I go.
Getting to see that watch party. Jakarta is
Right
hyped on
Yeah.
RRQ right now. Let's see if Global Esports can try to pull it back. No operator this time for Rossi. It's going to be a pretty starved round. Before I could even finish what I was going to say about Rossi, he's already gone, and we'll have to wait for the second half.
yeah, we don't have to say anything else. Yeah, just trying to catch him off guard, tries to go aggressive. I mean, tries to mix up the play. Can't really blame him for it. Just, again, just feel like the shots are just unfortunately not hitting for him. So play doesn't work out. And now RRQ can kind of regroup and Yeah, I mean, they don't have any ultimates, but doesn't really matter, I don't think, especially 5v4.
Yeah. So this should be an easy closer here for RRQ. They can just get up into A. You know, with all this tension on B in the last several rounds, I've lost count actually, why not just switch it up and go into A? There's going to be a mid-push, but it doesn't seem like Global Esports is going to get the information they need, and by then it's going to be too late. The site is going to be set up.
Yeah.
The plant will already be there. It's going to be up to a 4v5 retake.
Sprint on in. The A site is empty. Global Esports have to go for the
30
retake
seconds left.
on this A site. It's the last round of the half, so they obviously will have to try to force this.
Monyet, gotta tell you, man, this guy's been delivering every time.
Yeah. Was hoping he was holding a Vandal that time, unfortunately.
Flip gets another. Now down to 3. Bozzy and Texture, the last 2 left.
Found them.
Can they double dragon this?
Oh, man.
God, Elmi Moore is so good with these shots.
Yeah.
This is going to be looking like an 8th round win.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, they have to get in very aggressively. He knows EJ's up there, and the spray comes through,
Yeah.
but EJ is able to shore it up, and 8-4. RRQ getting 8 on the attacker side. Very nicely done.
Switching
You got to love
sides.
that setup. One on the low ground, one on top of the box. They can both pop out. You can't have your crosshair in 2 places at once.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch sides now. Global Esports is going to be on that attacking side. We'll see if they can work the kind of magic and B that we saw already here in map 2. But RRQ, man, they are more than halfway there.
Something's gotten into Elmi Moore today. I mean, he's been good, but like in past weeks, but especially today.
RRQ looking like they ate their Wheaties this morning. Global Esports, you know, it's going to be very, very tough, especially, like, let's say RRQ takes the pistol round. Man, you better have some good late half there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're going to be in a lot of trouble. We've seen Monyet really delivering. Rossi's had his moments, but overall, he has honestly floundered compared to the last 2 weeks where we saw his operator play, maybe being the best in the region.
Yeah.
Not the case here today.
Yeah, especially into a comp like this, it's just really difficult, but he's trying to make it work. It has not. He wasn't able to make it work on Fracture. But perhaps from the attacking side, we will see something different. It will be an RRQ EJ fan from Busan, once again, making his way all the way up to Seoul.
Well, EJ is just... That's so cute. I mean, EJ is just on fire today.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute murderer. He's every peak, he's just getting the kill.
EJ is like